TCS Sports presents Penn State Football. This show is being brought to you by Daly's Juice Products, who remind you that there's a Daly's treat for everyone. And by Long John Silver's Seafood Shop. For fish, chicken, and a whole lot more, Long John Silver's sounds good to me. And by Busch Beer, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name. And by Meyer Siegel and Associates, fine family of food. Lamagna cheese, the Ricotta for all reasons, and Rocca's Gourmet Pasta. Homemade pasta has never been so easy. And by Westinghouse, 130,000 people around the world dedicated to quality and excellence. From University Park, PA, Beaver Stadium, it's the Penn State Nittany Lions versus the Pirates of East Carolina University. Penn State football fan, we advise you to watch the first half of today's show because that's when Penn State played their best football. They had what seemed to be, underlined seemed to be, a commanding lead at the end of 30 minutes of play. Maybe a passing down here. Third down and a long three. Penn State in the eye for the first time. Schaefer setting up the screen to Smith. He's got big running room. And he's finally brought down to the 35-yard line. Gain of 11 yards and a Penn State first down. That's Mike Timpson in motion to the near side. Schaefer looking flat to Clark. It's out to the 38-yard line. Give him about 4. Robert Washington, the middle linebacker, he leads East Carolina in tackle. The pass complete to Clark. It'll be second down and 6. David Clark gets outside, and he's got a Penn State first down in East Carolina territory. Well, he's still in Penn State territory, but it is on 47, and that'll give Penn State another first down. East Carolina giving up an average of 350 yards per game, total offense. Penn State averaging 367. Again, the flat pass to Clark. Gets one block, and that enables him to get out to his own 48-yard line. Bernard Wynn, the strong safety, and linebacker Bubba Waters, sophomore at 6'1", 208 pounds, make the tackle on Clark. It is gain of 3, and it brings up second down and 7. Long count by Schaefer on second and 7. Straight drop. He's hit from behind. He's throwing deep. Intercepted. Walker to the 50. The 40's got blockers ahead of him. Walker to the 20. Still on his feet. Walker down inside the 5-yard line. Kevin Walker, his 4th interception of the season. John Schaefer brought him down from behind. The penalty is for an illegal block on Vincent Smith, and it's going to cost East Carolina yards of field position. Blocking below the waist. So East Carolina will be at their own 48-yard line. They could have been at the 3. So it's a 50-yard switch around the field position. Nonetheless, the turnover gives East Carolina the ball at their own 48. Penn State now a -3 in turnovers this year, and East Carolina is a +6. Ron Jones, the sophomore quarterback for East Carolina, they love to run the option play. Here it comes. Pitch out. Baker beats a tackle into Penn State territory and down near the Penn State 43 and close to a first down. Duffy Cobb and Ray Eisinger on the tackle for Penn State. Baker into the line of scrimmage. Fumble. And I believe Penn State has recovered. Yes, they have. Rogers Alexander recovered the fumble, and the fumble was caused by Pete Kirkendall getting the start today. We move to further action with Penn State in control of the football. Tim Manoa, big hole, on his feet, down to the East Carolina 10-yard line. Tim Manoa averaging better than 5 yards per carry, 4 yards per carry. Big 27-yard gain. Kevin Wood cuts inside. He's on the 5 and on his feet near the 4-yard line. See if they try to jam it in here.
he almost went in motion, and he tipped it off. The defensive back knew he was the receiver. Schaefer got up nice and high, lets Hamilton go up, turn his body around 360 degrees and make a super catch.
Following the Penn State touchdown, East Carolina has moved from its own 20 to the Penn State 48. It's 3rd down and 5. East Carolina 0 for 1 on 3rd down conversion. Play fake. Jones looks outside. Pump fake. He's got the 1st down and run out of bounds near the Penn State 35-yard line. Rogers Alexander shoved him out of bounds, but there you get an idea of how quick Ron Jones, the sophomore quarterback, is. 1st and 10, the Pirates at the Penn State 38. Jones on the out, cuts upfield, he's got a lot of room. Inside of the 20, and down near the 17-yard line. The Lion defense held after Jones' 21-yard run. East Carolina will attempt a 34-yard field goal. Up. It is long enough and it is good. So East Carolina on the board. A 34-yard field goal by Jeff Heath. There was no further scoring, and the first quarter ended with the score: Penn State 7, East Carolina 3. Penn State to start out. 1st down and 10. It's wide to Clark. Clark gets around 2 yards. Near the 43-yard line. Steve Jacobs, senior linebacker for East Carolina, made the tackle on Clark. Play fake on the roll. Schaefer looking. It is complete for a 1st down. In front of his feet is Cyberlane. And he's finally dragged out of bounds. Here, the East Carolina 25-yard line, Bernard Wynn. The strong safety knocked him out of bounds. Good job by Brian once he caught the ball. Power play to Woods. Woods in the wide open. To the 10, 5, touchdown, Penn State. Kevin Woods, a 24-yard touchdown run.
And that's the way Woods can run, has run like that in practice, and they've been waiting for him to show his thing. Great run by Kevin Woods, number 2.
There was no further scoring, and the first half ended with the score: Penn State 14, East Carolina 3. We'll be back right after this.
We are the largest optical telescope east of the Rockies.
We are Penn State.
We are a national specialized cancer research center.
We are Penn State.
And we are the pioneers in prospecting from the air for the abundant sources of fresh water located underground. Penn State geologists, using sophisticated aerial photography, map rock fracture zones on the surface of the earth. Then, using techniques developed at Penn State, they pinpoint the exact spots to drill prospective wells. Penn State is among the world leaders in the search for new and better ways to find water. If you'd like to know more about Penn State and its special opportunities, write Penn State Information, Department 1000, University Park, Pennsylvania, 16802.
We are Penn State.
Recruiting violations should be everyone's concern, but obviously it is not, because it continues. In response to that, university presidents instituted the death penalty, the elimination of football programs for repeated violations. Does the death penalty have enough bite?
Let me answer that question another way as far as the death penalty, the so-called death penalty that the president's committing. I think that the penalty being there is so tough that nobody's going to ever put themselves in a position where they're in danger of having it applied. And I think that's one of the beauties of the penalty. I think the fact that the old days, the schools that were constantly on probation, every 2-3 years were on probation, did it with a cavalier, so what, kind of thing. I don't think anybody's ever going to really test them, because you don't know. And they may impose that penalty. And I would be prone to think that if some of the things that happen under the old rules, the flagrant breaking of rules the second time, and that's what they were, flagrant, not caring about whether you're caught, that attitude prevailed with certain schools, I think the NCAA would be as, what's Clint Eastwood say, come on, make my day. What President Reagan said with the other situation. So I think they would do that. I think they need somebody to test them and boom, chop somebody's head off, and then it would all be over. But I don't think anybody's going to test them.
Same old story for Penn State for the third game in a row. The second half brought on, the second half blue. And the Nittany Lions were forced to hang on for victory, but hang on for victory they did. And East Carolina, for one of the few times in this game, is in Penn State territory. Straight hand off to Bobby Clare. He's got a big hole up the middle of the 30 and down to the Penn State 27-yard line. Ray Isom made the tackle, but a big hole. Straight handoff on the play. First down and 10. Clare again bounces off tacklers and gets down to the 21-yard line. He did a great job. Conlon tackled him, but he broke 2 tackles. Bobby Clare, senior fullback, 6 feet and 202 pounds, averaging better than 5 yards per carry. And once again, we are beginning to see East Carolina take control here in the second half.
That's good football. They come back with a similar play. The fullback right back up the middle again for good yardage.
Anthony Simpson comes in at fullback now for East Carolina as they face a second down and 4 to 21. Pitch wide to Baker. Not much doing this time. He gets to the 20-yard line. Hole pulls very quickly by Shane Conlon and Pete Kirkendall. Third down and 2. Option, Baker. First down and plenty more. The 15 and down to the 11-yard line. Worked the option beautifully that time. Lance Hamilton made the tackle, but Baker picks up 9 yards and a first down. And Mike Gainey, the tight end, threw the key block at the point of attack. And East Carolina's got it first and 10 at their the Penn State 11-yard line. Well, whether they score or not, this is definitely East Carolina's best drive of the game. Simpson, the fullback, gets 5 down to the 6-yard line. Giptopoulos on the tackle. But Simpson really lost his balance more than anything else. A gaping hole in the defensive line.
Palomaro missed him in the backfield, and Penn State starting off flat again in the second half. When you make penetrations as a defensive lineman, you got to get your head up and find out where the ball is.
Eddie Johnson comes in as one of the cornerbacks. Bookman is in the game. 2nd and 5 from the 6. Baker. He's in trouble. He's dropped for a loss back at the 8-yard line by Ray Isom. Isom, from his safety position, smelled it all the way, got penetration, and drops him for a 2-yard loss. Third down and 7 from the Penn State 8. Simpson, touchdown, East Carolina. The quick trap up the middle. Anthony Simpson, an 8-yard touchdown run, and East Carolina has scored.
That's a great call. Penn State was looking for the option to the outside. Watch Palomaro, 99. He gets taken by the center. Simpson blows his way through into the end zone.
After East Carolina cut Penn State's lead to 14-10, the Lion offense could move only to midfield. John Bruno punted, and the Pirates have the ball again. And his team is in control, although they trail 14-10. And defensively, we'll remind you again because we think it's pertinent, East Carolina has not allowed a point in the second half defensively. Jones runs right past Greg Johns. He's in the open. 30, 25, and finally run out of bounds to the Penn State 20-yard line. Greg Johns, who perhaps had responsibility with the pitchman, Jones ran right by him. The gain is 42 yards and an East Carolina first down. Simpson breaks the tackle. It's about 3 to the 17. Greg Johns made the tackle that time. Gain of 2.5 yards. Second down. Fullback Simpson gets another couple down to the 15. Pete Kirkendall made the tackle. Kirkendall playing a whale of a football game today. It is now 3rd down and 5. And remember last time on 3rd down and longish yardage anyway, they ran a quick fullback trap and he went all the way for a touchdown. Jones gets the pitch off to Baker. Baker chased by Conlon, and Baker has the first down. He may have fumbled. Penn State has recovered the fumble.
Well, that was a great play by Jones. Got the ball at Baker as he was going down. Unfortunately for East Carolina, Baker coughs it up.
Time ran out after Penn State recovered the East Carolina fumble, and the third quarter ended with the score, Penn State 14, East Carolina 10. Third down and 6, Penn State 5 out of 11 on third down conversion. Big play in this ball game right now. Schaefer, he's being rushed from the outside. He throws in the flat, and it is caught, but way short of the first down. As a matter of fact, the play will lose yardage, and there is a flag down at the line of scrimmage, and it's a hold against Penn State. Now, will East Carolina accept it to knock him or make it a more difficult field goal or give another chance? If he takes the penalty and Penn State does not convert, it would have been a 49-yard field goal. As it is, it's going to be a 39-yard field goal, making a 38-yard attempt by Massimo Manca. Manca is 4 out of 5 on field goal attempts. Fourth and field goal, Manca. Kick is up. It is long enough, and the kick is good. I think it's safe to say that Penn State has escaped again for the third week in a row.
Well, they kept up with their average, 3 points, second half.
That's the end of today's football game. The final score, Penn State 17, East Carolina. Offensive and defensive players of the game are brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, makers of Budweiser, Michelob, Busch, and L.A., and by Westinghouse, and by Dailies. The defensive player of the game is Pete Kirkendall. Pete is a sophomore majoring in individual family studies from Elmira, New York. In a game where big plays by the defense were certainly the keys to a Penn State victory, Kirkendall was there, especially in the first half. Pete was one of the most heavily recruited players in the country after the 1983 season when he was selected to numerous Scholastic All-American teams. The offensive player of the game is Tim Manoa. Tim is a junior majoring in general arts and studies from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Manoa is teaming again this year with Steve Smith at the fullback position, giving the Lions 2 powerful runners out of that slot. Last week, fullback Smith was our offensive player of the game. This week against East Carolina is fullback Manoa with 73 yards on 9 carries. Tim played football at North Allegheny High School in Pittsburgh, but was born in Tonga, and his family now lives in Hawaii. Congratulations to Tim Manoa and Pete Kirkendall, this week's players of the game. Tremendous effort and time, the University of Florida at Gainesville. Obviously, they suffered a letdown and they lost to Army, but that won't make Penn State's task any easier next week at the Meadowlands. Dick Anderson, former Penn State coach in his second year, Rutgers, coming off a 7-3 season last year. Rusty Hochberg has been the starting quarterback. However, he is in a quarterback battle with Joe Gagliotti. Scott Drake, one of the leading receivers, against Army, 2 receptions for 1 touchdown. Albert Smith George has always been a great runner for Rutgers.
Well, he's like Palmer from Temple, an excellent broken field runner, big, strong legs. And again, Penn State faces a fine running back.
And nearly 80 yards in total offense for Smith against Army. Tyrone Stowe, an aggressive defense for Rutgers.
Well, Rutgers had some very big, quick defensive linemen. Here you see Tyrone Stowe putting down Manoa, the Penn State fullback.
And the Piquel brothers are still around. Brother Bill, the L.A. Raiders. This is James Piquel.
James Piquel is not as big as Brother Bill, but just as quick and just as effective.
Well, despite the loss by Army, George, Dick Anderson is doing the job up at Rutgers, and much like Temple, certainly a win over Penn State represents a major boost for the Rutgers football program. It'll be a very difficult game.
Well, Rutgers has played very consistent football under Coach Anderson, and I think the worst time you can catch a team is after they've had what we'd call in Florida a situation, a little bit of an upset with Rutgers tying them. Then you have a drop-off and you lose a game, and then you have to play a team after that, especially a team that would be an old rival like Penn State. That's when a team really rises to the occasion. So I think Penn State's going to be in for an awfully difficult ball game this week coming up against Rutgers.
And perhaps part of the reason that Rutgers lost Army, well, they may have been looking ahead to Penn State as well.
Possibly so. You don't know how much the Florida game took out of them. Maybe they're going to regain their, get their win back and be sky high again. But Dick Anderson was the offensive coordinator for Penn State. Penn State has not been consistent on offense, so it won't help that one of Joe's former coaches is going against him.
On the road at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. That's it for Penn State football this week. For my partner George Paterno and everyone here at TCS, this is Stan Savran saying thank you for watching, and until next time, so long, everybody. Penn State football has